We started farming when we bought our place in 2001 out in China Spring, and just wanted to try to do what we could to heal the land and just kind of get some animals in just a small scale operation at first. And of course, after a while, it just grew and grew. And we started off with just a few chickens and a couple of meat cows, and it just kind of went on from there. And it just expanded to what we have today. And what got us into the restaurant business is Shannon and I have been married for 24 years. So in 24 years, we've kind of discussed, I guess just like everybody else, what would it be like if we were owned a restaurant? So we kind of boiled all that together into what we have today. We always knew that we wanted to get into a really historic building. We've always been a nut for historic things that are antique, and so we've been driving by this building here in Hillsboro on the Courthouse Square for 15 years, and it's been empty, and we just thought, well, that would be the perfect place for a restaurant. The courthouse, of course, is one of the most beautiful in the whole state. I mean, bar none, it is one of the nicest courthouses in the state. This building, it's an original 1883 two-story. It was finished in 1883. It's had everything in here between banks and feed stores, grocery stores, auto parts, pizza, dance studio, western wear. This thing's been everything. But the main thing is upstairs, it was the cotton exchange from the 1890s all the way through just past World War II. There's still some people living here in Hill County that remember coming in there with their dad and their grandpa and having their cotton graded upstairs. So it's really, it brings back a lot of memories for a lot of people here in town. Now the building itself, what we did on the bottom floor here is we wanted, the main piece of course downstairs is the ceiling tile. We wanted to keep the ceiling downstairs as intact as possible because it is an original 1883 piece. They're actually red brick wall, that's 1910 brick. So it's not the original, but it's pretty old, pretty antique brick. Yeah, every bit of the chicken, eggs, and beef that we cook and prepare here in the cafe is things that we raise at the farm. And that was always our biggest intention, is to make sure we had as close to farm to table as we could get. The chickens we raise, we've been raising on grass now for about 6 or 7 years. We've had a flock of laying hens for at least 12 years. The beef herd that we've been using, I've been using the genetics off of. The herd I have now, I've been working on those genetics for about 6 years now to get them just right, get the flavor right. We process most of our beef this time of year in the spring because the grasses are better, they're more flavorful, and puts a lot more flavor into the beef because we really want to care about that. We hear that a lot from our customers. We have a lot of people come to the counter and say, I can sure tell the difference in that beef. We can tell there's some flavor in that. And it's all because we raise it on grass, and you can tell the flavors. It's a big difference. I mean, a lot of the desserts we fix to order. Everything we do here is fresh. Matter of fact, we just bought a can opener about 3 months ago because we got our canned tomatoes. We got tomatoes canned to go on our marinara sauce. That's about the only thing we need a can opener for. Everything else is freshly made. We get our honey here locally, here from Hill County. It's cotton pollinated honey that we get here in Hill County. Our peaches come from right down the road here in Hill County. We also get sweet corn. I get tea from our organic tea vendor down in West, which is just right down the road from us. We get our breads from Homestead Heritage from their bakery, so we know that's all clean things. We get our ice cream from right down the street. Tiscataska has the soda fountain down the street. We get our ice cream homemade. We get our own vanilla blend here, so that's real important to us. I guess the difference in the flavor that you can tell from things that are grass-fed is just a lot more of a meaty flavor that you get. You can tell the flavors both in the chicken and the beef and the pork. I get a lot of comments on how good the bacon is. I get a lot of comments on you can tell the difference in the chicken, even in something as simple as a salad. Just pieces of chicken in a salad, you can really tell the difference. Again, the health aspect of getting a grass-fed animal. There's a whole lot more vitamins and nutrients in it, things you're not going to get from just a commodity industrial chicken. Same way with the beef and the pork. We knew before we even opened the cafe that a large portion of the people that came in here were just going to be concerned with taste. I mean, that was going to be their number one priority. We knew right away that as long as it tastes good, that's what they cared about. We also knew that we have a large customer base that are really concerned with the health aspects of it. They really care about where their food comes from. They want to know how it was raised, where it came from, how it was fed. how long has it been sitting in the freezer or the refrigerator or whatnot. But there's also that third category of people that's seriously growing, that's really interested in the animal welfare. You know, they're interested in how these animals are being treated, and we're real concerned about that. And we've seen that on the farm that that percentage of folks is growing, and we care about it too. Yeah, every single morning I bring all the beef, eggs, and chicken with me. And again, what we don't cook, we sell out of our cooler. We sell out of our cooler space here. We have a lot of people that come by that are interested in buying their produce to go home and cook it themselves. Yeah, we're definitely a small business operation here. My wife Shannon's involved. Both our daughters, Allison and Haley, are involved.
I like choosing the recipes, so most of the recipes back there are recipes that I've chosen or our family recipes. The buttermilk is his mother's, the apple pie is our family's, is my side of the family. So everything is homemade and done from scratch. So even a lot of the bowls some of the bowls that I use for cooking are Granny's bowls, so my great-grandmother's, so they mean a whole lot to me.
We've really gotten to enjoy the community of Hillsboro, and a lot of people have taken us in and adopted us as family. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we're open for breakfast and lunch Wednesday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So yeah, just come see us. Love to see you. What we do here is we move these guys every single day. As you can see here, we've got a floorless hoop house shelter that we slide forward each day onto a fresh new patch. Chickens are an omnivore. They've got to have a grain forage diet just as much as they need a grass forage diet. So they get about a 50-50 diet in here. They have a fresh green grass pasture to eat off of every day. They get sunshine, they get clean water. We filter water through here every single day that comes off of our well. We run this electrical wire down here on the bottom to keep the varmints out at night. So far it's been very effective. We've been doing this for 2 years now and I have not had one varmint problem yet. So yeah, once you get popped by that, you won't be back. So believe it or not, there's 250 birds in here. You wouldn't think so when you first look at this, but there's 250 birds in here right now. And as you can see, what you'll be able to see from some of our aerial shots, these guys make a huge impact. Not only are they growing in size just from, of course, eating and drinking, but they're also putting straight nitrogen into the ground, which completely improves this pasture. Like I said, we've been doing this pasture now for 2 years with these birds, and that's made an incredible difference in the thickness of the sward, the grass quality. We have a mixture of grasses now, not just one single grass. We've got a variety of grasses come up. After the chickens are gone, we bring the cattle through here about 2 weeks after they're gone, and praying there's a rain in there somewhere. It definitely brings the grass up nice and thick, and we can run the cattle through here for several days instead of just 1 or 2 days, which is what we had before we started running chickens over here. One of the first things you need to do in humane animal treatment is allowing them to live in their God-given environment, which is, of course, the 3 main things for that are sunshine, fresh, clean water, and fresh grass. I know that sounds pretty basic, but it's hard to find food where the animal has actually had those 3 things. We don't allow any of the cattle or any of the animals to drink out of our fish pond or any of the holding tanks. We don't want them drinking out of water that they can soil in. We keep them fenced out of there. Everybody, no matter what animal you are or human you are, you drink straight off our well, which we've dug down into the second trinity to get to, for them to be able to drink clean water. As you can see, sunshine is allowed to come through here. We keep a shelter over the top. This is a shade cloth that's over the poly, which keeps it nice and cool in here. Both ends are nice and open where we can get straight breeze through here. The sides roll down in case there's some rain or one of those crazy cold, wet fronts that we get, of course, in March or April. We can roll the sides down and keep the weather away from them. But other than that, they do a fantastic job in here and work for us just as much as we're working for them. What we try to do is try to get all the animals to work together along with us kind of watching the weather and watching the grass growing and that sort of thing. We don't want to try to move the animals too fast, but yet we don't want to try to move them too slow. Again, we want a nice variety of grasses. When it's raining real good, we move the animals quickly because, of course, the grass is growing quickly because it's raining. When the rains slow down, then we slow the animals down. We give the animals a little bit bigger area to graze from, whether it's the chickens or whether it's the cattle. We give them a little bit bigger area, spend more time on it, a few more days. Now when it's raining, we make those areas smaller. We make the pastures smaller and just shorten it down to sometimes one day, sometimes we'll move them twice a day, just to keep that momentum going with the grass so we don't stunt their growth. Rotational grazing is basically the art of moving the animals and, again, reading the grass and reading the weather, and so everything kind of works together and gets the grass to keep growing, and so you can extend that grazing period out a little longer so you don't have to feed hay at all, or you can stall feeding hay for a much longer, you can wait a lot longer before you got to start feeding hay. We knew before we opened the cafe that people's number one concern was going to be, was this stuff going to taste good? Was it really going to have some flavor to it? A second group of people we knew were going to be really concerned with the health benefits of this kind of food. Was it going to be healthy for me? Was it going to be good for me? But we also knew there'd be a third group of folks that were going to be concerned with the humane treatment of our animals. How are our animals being treated? Well, as you can see, that these animals have very low stress. These animals are really hanging out. They're enjoying where they're at. They've got plenty of stuff to eat. They've got grass, they've got bugs, sunshine, breeze, fresh water every day. You can't beat it. That's as good as it gets. People from the very beginning have asked us, why did you open a cafe? Well, I'd say the number one reason is we knew a whole lot of people just like ourselves were ready to know that their food was coming from a place like China Spring, not China.